Dear fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. Change is a constant thing. Several thousand years ago, Heraclitus said that one cannot enter the same river twice. He just illustrated how everything changes all the time. So change is inevitable, and I'm not going to go deep to select yes or no. What I'm going to do is share with you a couple of stories from my childhood that changed me. The first story starts when I was 5. I'm coming home from the kindergarten and I'm crying to my parents. And I tell them, "Oh, why is Sasha in our group? He's so much older than us and beats us all the time." And they try to explain to me that he's not older, he's just bigger. And such is life. Some kids are stronger than others. But getting the knowledge that he's not older gave me strength. So the next day, I go into the kindergarten in the morning with huge confidence. I go up to him and tell him, "Sasha, how old are you?" And he says, "I'm 5. "Do you know that I'm also 5? "Ha, don't be ridiculous. You are so much smaller and younger." "No, I'm not younger. I'm just smaller. And let's ask the other kids and we'll see that everyone here is 5. So we went around and asked the other kids, and miracle, everyone said they were 5. So I told Sasha again, "See, we're all 5. So you don't beat us anymore, we are equal." And he said, "Okay." Now, I don't know how child's logic works, but when I remember this moment now, I realized that at such a young age, we knew the profound truth that size does not matter. I took something else also with me then. I had a problem, a big problem, and then I got a little bit of information, and the problem was solved. And maybe that was the time when I became hungry for information. Maybe that is the reason that I wanted so much to learn to read and started reading books a lot and became, you could say, a bookworm. And my next story is 3 years later. I'm 2nd grade, I'm 8 years old, and I'm already a bookworm. I already have glasses because I was reading all the time. And the kids called me for rice, but I didn't care. So I'm sitting at home, browsing through an atlas, and I saw at the top, Eastern Greenwich, Western Greenwich. And I scratched my head, what the hell is Greenwich? And I started thinking, doesn't sound like a mountain or a river, probably it's a city. And as they use it as a mark, probably it is a city in the center of the world. So I go out and share my newly discovered knowledge with the kids. And there was this kid that I didn't know, he was a cousin of one of my friends, and he was 2 years older. And when I said, "Did you know that there is a city in the center of the world called Greenwich?" he stepped up and said, "Well, actually, it's not a city, it's an observatory close to London." And I opened my mouth to say, "Oh, really? Tell me more about it." However, we were interrupted because all the other kids started shouting, "Shut up! 4 Eyes knows more than you." And my reaction probably looked something like this. Because I know what I felt inside. First, I was shocked. It was obvious he knew something and I didn't. I was just speculating. And he was older than me, so it's normal that he knows more. But everyone trusted my information. And imagine, I had no clue. I knew I was smart, but I had no clue that the other kids thought me so smart. So I had a huge boost of confidence, and I had a choice if to reveal the truth or not, but I decided to remain the genius and kept quiet. Now this taught me something else. People thought I was smart and believed what I say even though it's not true. And this led me to a very bad path. I started lying all the time. I played Mr. Know-It-All. They asked me a question and I have an answer. Doesn't matter if I know it or not. It became such ridiculous at one point. A friend asked me, "What does R2D2 mean?" And I told him, "It means of course." And he says, "Oh, well, my sister told me just letters and numbers." And his sister is 5 years older. And I told him, your sister is stupid, I know better English than her. And she said, yes, you do. And stuff like that. And I was lying and was the genius, and everyone admired me for some time. And then at one point, people started catching me. And then they lost trust in me. I was still smart, but I was not trustworthy. And they started avoiding me because I was not honest. And that was another lesson then. I realized lying is not the best way, so I had to become honest. And then I took another path, another choice. And a lot of things, everything that happens changes us. My point is that we can decide what to do with the things that happen, how to approach change. Do we let just things govern us, or do we decide in what direction we want to go? And there is something that I've been procrastinating for several years. When I was little, I was very slim, I was very skinny. And all the time I was trying to gain weight. And I tried to eat and eat and eat, and I couldn't gain weight. And then at about 33, my metabolism obviously changed, and I started gaining weight. And at first it was not a big problem because I started training sports, and it was all fine. But then I stopped the sports, and now I'm fat. I wouldn't use a politically correct word like overweight or something. I am fat. But I have decided to change deliberately. So I'm making a commitment in front of you right now. I promise you, within 6 months, I'm going to lose 20 kilograms. This is a promise from me in honor of this speech tonight. And I'll talk to you in 6 months. Thank you.